Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Tuesday thus far. Got a nice build, man. Just some introspection that I feel like everybody needs to undergo at this particular point in time. That's my inspiration today. So I'm gonna give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in. Let me know how y'all living and feeling before we start diving into this subject matter, man. Y'all see the title, y'all see what it is. Just some things for y'all to think about, man. That's what I'm on today. Food for thought, food for the mind. Goddess Isis Peace, what's happening? What's the word? Patrick Peace, Devin Peace, Craig Peace, what's happening? How everybody living and feeling? Hopefully y'all living good on this Tuesday. I'm on a liquid joint right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm going about 5 days. Nothing but smoothies and whatnot. You know, we always striving to take our health to the next level. So that's what I'm on. I'm on day 2. Right now it's Tuesday. So I'm on day 2 of this 5-day smoothie juice detox or cleanse. Feeling good right now. Like I said, always striving to take the health to the next level. But what's the word, man? How y'all living and feeling? How y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Tuesday, man? Before we start diving in, getting y'all to think a little bit, trying to figure out what's your purpose, man, for existing, purpose for being alive. We're going to help some people figure that out today. Lindell, peace, what's happening? What's the word? What's the word? You know, I know a lot of people struggle with this particular subject matter, man. A lot of people do not have a purpose for themselves figured out. And when you live life like that, that's when you become a character in somebody else's novel, in somebody else's book. See, I never had time for that. You know, I was going to identify my purpose. I was going to give myself a purpose before I allow somebody else to do that for myself. Craig, you say how often should we detox? Hey, for real, honestly, I say every season, once the season changes, man, that's a good time to detox. That's a great time to detox, man. So hey, maybe 4 times a year for real. 4 times a year, but I mean, I make it a lifestyle, you know. I make it a lifestyle for sure. Magic Peace, what's happening? But yeah, depending on where you live, you know, if you live in the southern region where it's not where it doesn't get that cold, may not have to do that. But man, when you where I'm at in the Midwest, man, we get like every season. You know what I'm saying? So it's good way to transition into each season is to detox and cleanse to prepare yourself and prepare your body for the upcoming season, for the weather shifts, things like that. That's why a lot of people get sick when the weather changes, man. I used to be like that as a child. We don't prepare our bodies for the changes, you know. So a good way to prepare your body for the changes to detox and cleanse like right before that season shifts. And I don't know about where y'all are at right now, but it's like we got a bug going around in the St. Louis area, man. We got a lot of people coming down with the flu. A lot of people coming down, they just got a common cold. They just sick. Like everybody around here is getting sick. You know, so I've been making sure I'm staying smoothied up, keeping them nutrients in me, man, so I don't get hit with this bug that's going around. So far, so good. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stay away from food, man. There's a lot of sicknesses around me. So I'm like, hold up. Let me stay away from the consumption of food. Let me just drink these smoothies, man, and get that immune system right and exact. So that even if something came in contact with my system, it won't be able to cause any damage. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I've been kind of detoxing and cleansing myself, man, because I'm around a lot of sicknesses, man. A lot of people getting sick where I'm at. So I'm like, nah, man, I'm not about to give these viruses anything to feed off of. Queasy, you say big sick bug going around in Indiana, Chicago. Well, hey, that's right around the corner from me. So you know what I'm saying? St. Louis. So yeah, it's a bug going around in general. Aaron, peace, what's happening? A Shep, peace, what's happening? What's the word? But yeah, everybody around me, man. It's like how they had clients come in, man, they kids sick, they sick, whole family sick. I'm like, all right, man, I gotta prepare for that. Let me go ahead and go on this smoothie cleanse real quick. I ain't taking no chances. I ain't taking any chances. Kenyatta, peace. What's happening? But all right, man, we 5 minutes in. All right, we tapped in. You know, so today's subject matter, man, we dealing with why do you exist, man? What is your purpose for living? Every so often I have to bring this topic back to the surface because a lot of people lose track. A lot of people allow life to get them off track in regards to what their purpose is. I fall victim to this, and I know y'all fall victim to this. So every now and then, man, we gotta recenter ourselves, you know, because when life starts, what they say, life in is nothing to get off balance. It's nothing to deviate from your purpose, from your passion, from your calling, whatever you want to call it. It's nothing to do it once life start getting real in the field. So every now and then, man, I try to tap in with y'all, man, to make sure y'all still tapped in to that purpose, to that passion. Make sure y'all pursuing what it is that y'all feel like y'all was put here to do. We can never neglect that, man. Each individual has a purpose. Some of those purposes we are like they are identifiable almost at birth. Some of them it takes us a while to figure out what our purpose is. But that's one thing you must figure out. Do not waste your time here on this planet Earth. We got to stop doing that. Again, we walking around like we got 9 lives, all that type of good stuff. We don't. So the time that you have here on this earth, you need to make sure you are creating a purpose for yourself if you haven't figured it out, and making sure you doing everything to pursue, not even pursue, fulfill that particular purpose. You got to make sure you are creating a strategy, putting that strategy in motion on a day-to-day basis so that this gets fulfilled. If you're not striving to fulfill your purpose, then what are you living for? You got to ask people that, man. Like literally, what are you living for? What is your purpose for living? Why do you feel like, why do you get up every day? Every time that you get up, there is something that must be done that you have to do. CC Peace, what's happening? Oh, magic for sure. 100%. 100% something with the weather. You already know. But yeah, man, I want y'all to ponder on exactly what your purpose is. Why do you exist? Why are you alive? A lot of people don't think about this enough, man. I don't care what theory you subscribe to in regards to an afterlife and things like that. That's not going to help you with the current fulfillment of your purpose right now. I don't care anything about what you think happens after this. For all we know, this could be it. So let's treat it like that. What they say, live every day like it's your last. All the other stuff that happens to us after we stop existing here, those are theories. We don't know any of that for certain. So I'm not ever focused on that. I'm focused on the here and now. What they call the present. That's what I would focus on. So what are you doing with the time that you have? What did you do today that's pushing you towards whatever it is you feel like your purpose is? What have you done? If the answer is nothing, I'm gonna need for you to change that. MC Peace, what's happening? I'm gonna need for you to shift that. If you haven't done anything that's pushing you closer to fulfilling a goal, I need for you to change that. I'm gonna need for you to change that ASAP. CC, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Hence why they would call it the present. Like I'm not like they say the past, hey, you survived it. You went through it, you survived it. Now, of course, you don't have to totally neglect the past and the future. Of course, you can use the past as we all should. You learn from it, you know, extract the lessons from what you went through so that you don't make or repeat the same mistakes going forward, you know, and the future can give you a little motivation. It's that end goal. So, of course, you can use the future and the past to be inspired or as learning tools to help improve your present. But you don't want to dwell on either one of those. The past already happened, future isn't promised to you. So you don't want to dwell on those things, meaning you don't want to spend majority of your time focusing on either one of those. You want to spend majority of your time focused on the present because that's really at the end of the day all that you have. It's the present, the here and the now. Mindfulness. That's what mindfulness is all about. Being mindful in the exact moment, being mindful in the present. We neglect that. Chaos, peace, what's happening? Reach the shaman, peace, what's the word? We neglect it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop doing that. I have a lot of conversations with folks, and a lot of times, man, we go back to the past, or we think it's too far in the future. Stop neglecting what you have currently. Stop neglecting what you are doing now. Stop neglecting everything that's around you right now at this very moment. Stop doing that. Always take time to embrace where you are at the current moment. Just take time. Do that. Appreciate everything that's around you, including yourself. You know, so we got to take time to do that on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of people do not do that. You know, and that's why they talk about mindfulness. That's why they talk about focusing on your breathing. That brings you back to the present, because breathing is one of those automatic things that happen that we don't tend to think about. We don't have to think about breathing. So the moment you make yourself think about breathing, you forcing yourself to deal with the present. You know, so anytime you feel yourself slipping, focus on the breathing. That is going to bring you back to the present. That's the most important tool that you can use to get back, to recenter yourself so that you can focus on the present. Corey, peace, what's happening? Big Smooth, peace, what's happening? What's the word? Like, the present is a wonderful thing. You know, a lot of people are not satisfied with their current circumstances in life. And that's one of the reasons why they always going back to the past or focusing too heavy on the future. A lot of people not satisfied, but if you're not satisfied with your circumstances, then boom, this is the opportunity to create the strategy to change your circumstances going forward. But dwelling on the past, not going to change your circumstances. Focusing too heavy on the future, not going to shift your circumstances. I don't care what they tell you about manifesting. Manifesting involves action. It involves work. So you can think about the future all day long. If you're not putting any work, if you're not putting in any work to change that future, it's not going to happen merely by you thinking about it. Got to put in some work. Work must be put in. There's no way to dodge that. Physical work has to be put in order for your reality to change. Yes, it starts with a thought. It has to start with a thought, but it must be followed by action, by movement, by motion. So we just can't stop at a thought. Yes, I'm going to think about a better future, but then what am I doing today to ensure that I have this better future? A lot of people, we stop at the thought. As I talked about potential and kinetic energy, that thought, it is potential energy. You just can't stop there. You got to turn it into kinetic energy by doing things on a day-to-day basis. Whatever your goal is, I'm pretty sure there are things that you can do daily that will help you reach this goal faster. Antoinette, peace queen, what's happening? Avid, there we go. Sweet tea, peace, appreciate that. I'm going to let the mom Dukes know. Truth seeker, peace, what's happening? But yeah, what is your day-to-day routine like? And what does that day-to-day routine have to do with whatever your goal is, your long-term goal is, your short-term goal, whatever goals you have for yourself? You know what I'm saying? How is that day-to-day routine helping you reach that point or reach that goal, objective, whatever? Door, peace, what's happening? Y'all, yeah, Big Smooth for sure. All of it is dead. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge without wisdom, nothing. Like, you got to put things into motion. You have to do it. My Parker, peace, what's happening? Wheezy, exactly. And that's my thing. So when we not doing the work, looking inward to create a purpose for ourselves or discover our purpose, then we start living our purposes given to us by people that don't too much care for us. So we become a character in their book. You know, meaning we probably helping them build their reality, build a better reality for themselves. We are helping them create their heaven on earth, as we like to call it. You know, so the moment that you stop looking inward to discover and create a purpose for yourself, you're going to start helping somebody else fulfill their purpose. Like that's what you're going to end up doing. I didn't like the thought of that. So I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm going to create this purpose for myself, and I'm going to see to it that I put some things in motion to make sure I'm doing what I set out to do. Again, if you don't have a purpose for your existence right now, what are you doing? Like, what are you living for? Like, this is real. Like, what are you living for? Like, what are you doing? You have got to have a purpose for yourself, man. You have got to have purpose. You have got to attach some type of meaning to your existence, man. You got to do it. Antoinette, peace. Appreciate the donation. But yeah, the way the system is designed, especially for us folk, is designed to steer us away from looking inward, because we already know as original people, the moment we start looking inward, the moment we start seeking knowledge and whatnot, we already know what type of answers we're going to come across. They don't want us thinking like that. They don't want us really thinking at all. You know what I'm saying? They want us to be robots, and they want to control the programming of the robot, and the robots being us. You know, so the moment we break free from that matrix and we start questioning things and we start asking ourselves questions and we start figuring out some things for ourselves and about the world, different ball game. And they don't like that. So they make it real complicated. One of the main ways that they distract us from discovering our true purpose is the school system. The school system is so mundane, it dulls the mind. When you go through that school system as a child, I'm talking about your imagination, your creativity deteriorates slowly. This watered down school system plays a big factor in us not really realizing our true purpose and our potential. School system is trash in regards to that. They telling us again what to think, not how to think. You know, so they programming us with all these fabricated lies and all of this nonsense. So by the time you get to 17, 18, now all you are encouraged to do is to go enter a field that will lead to you making a ton of money. Not something that you are passionate about, not something that you are great at. They are telling you, hey, you need to enter this field because that's where the money is at. If that's all you motivated by, none of us will live our true purpose. We just going where the money is at. That's why you have a lot of depressed people these days, because everybody just trying to go where the money is at. That's trash. If you follow your passion, you know what I'm saying? If you create a purpose for yourself and see to it that the purpose gets fulfilled, the money will follow you. The money will come to you. This is a known fact. You know what I'm saying? But when we go through this school system now, they like, listen, you can't go, you graphic design, there ain't no money in that. I need for you to go be a doctor. I need for you to go be a lawyer. Whole lot of people that's doing that, a lot of them not passionate about that. A lot of them don't really want to do it. Their parents had them do it. The parents corrupted their mind to make it feel like, look, hey, you got to do this because this is where the money is at. Telling you the school system is partially responsible for a lot of people not knowing their purpose, not knowing, not following, not understanding their purpose. The school system is partially responsible for that. They got us chasing money. They got us worshiping money. And at the end of the day, we can get deep in regards to this stuff being an illusion and this stuff. We can get deep into that conversation. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they got us chasing money. When at the end of the day, I'm not chasing anything. You know what I'm saying? There's an inner greatness. There's an inner light in all of us. When you activate this inner greatness, like that's the true form of currency. The true form of currency is your internal health, your mental health, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And when you activate that inner greatness and that inner light, there's no way that you could fail. You know what I'm saying? So when you tap in internally and you manifest that light outwardly, all that you need, all the riches, all the wealth, all the little money and whatnot, naturally is going to come to you. But they don't teach you that. They tell you you need to work in this field because this field makes the most money. So you need to go to school, get an education, or if you don't take that route, get this trade here, get this certification here. Notice when they are talking to children about what they should do when they become older, a lot of it doesn't revolve around passion. A lot of it doesn't revolve around a love. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it doesn't revolve around that. A lot of it revolves around where the money is at. And that's incorrect. And they wonder why these kids so sensitive. They wonder why. That is the reason why. That is the reason why. We got to stop disconnecting the kids from their true call and from their passion. A lot of these kids be knowing this stuff early, but we discourage them. A lot of kids, when you ask them what they want to be, man, they start telling you some things. Now, of course, that stuff can fluctuate. You know what I'm saying? But you see the imagination the child has, and you see how we discourage a lot of that. When they start hitting us with a bunch of things, man, we start, hey, you need to be more realistic, this, that, and the third. Man, kids start off with big dreams. Kids start off thinking big. It be the adults that disconnect them from that. So by the time they get 17 to 18, that big thinking is small now. It's small. Pisces the king. Peace, peace. What's happening? Oh yeah, for sure. What they say, do you exist or do you live? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the question. Do you exist or do you live? A lot of folks are not living at all. A lot of folks are not alive. We talk about the Walking Dead. We talk about the zombies. We talk about the blind, deaf, and dumb. A lot of folks are not alive right now. I'll reach the shaman, very comfortable, complacent, content, comfortable. And really, there is no reason for them to be that way, because it's a lot of work that has to be done out here. Yeah, Corey, exactly. Yeah, for real. That was the way that I created a purpose for myself, broke free from the matrix. You got to do it. Like I said, because when you within this matrix, you just gonna be a slave to someone else's purpose. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be a character in somebody else's novel, man, and they controlling what you do. You know what I'm saying? They gonna dictate the outcome of your life, and I don't like that. I don't like that idea. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that idea. Somebody else dictating the outcome of my life, of my story. Nah. They say in our culture, write your history in advance. Like, that's what I'm on. I'm controlling my narrative, not letting anybody else do that for me. No. Man, hey, Chef, I'm trying to some of the fields that people say are not lucrative, like, I don't even understand where they got some of that from. You know, it's like a person wanting to be, another example, like somebody, if you got a child that just knows how to paint or something, that's good with art, and a parent be like, man, it ain't no money in that. Man, you know how much money people be paying for paintings out here? Man, if you got a child that's gifted and can draw and paint, man, come on. Man, you better invest in that child like you would invest in them playing a sport. Man, people be dropping crazy money on paintings. And I mean, it'd be a painting that you don't even understand. Like, man, I don't even know why you pay that much for it, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a child, 9 times out of 10, they say they want to grow up and be a painter, man, the parents finna look at them like, nah, I'm gonna need for you to choose something else. Nah, if you invest in that child like you would invest in them playing a sport or whatever the case may be, man, I'm telling you, that pain can take them places. But we too caught up in this matrix, man. We too caught up in this matrix. We can't see that. We can't see it. Man, a lot of these children, they be born with certain gifts, man. But you keep telling them, nah, that ain't gonna make you no money, so they neglect it. They neglect it. You tell them, look, do it as a hobby. Man, I ain't finna do that. There is no reason why your painting can't become your main source of revenue, your main source of wealth. Forget all of that. Oh, do what you love as a hobby. Why? There are plenty of people out here doing what they love and they making a fortune. So why I gotta make mine a hobby? Listen, if you passionate about something, man, especially in this day and age, if you passionate about something, man, there is no reason why you cannot generate a nice amount of income doing it. And when you're passionate about something, man, there's no way that you can fail, man. When you put your heart into something, you're not gonna fail, man. You're not gonna fail. When you passionate about something, you're gonna master that craft. And when you master the craft, you're not going to fail. You're just not gonna do it. Because your whole mentality is gonna be different, man. Like your mentality, like you're gonna be in a different space mentally because you love what you do. That's the energy that you're gonna be dishing out. It's a loving energy, a positive energy, a powerful energy. There's no way you can fail when that's the energy that you're dishing out. You know, opposed to going to these corporate jobs and you hate your job and you dishing out this negative energy on a day-to-day basis and wonder why that's what you're receiving in return. Because look at the energy you're dishing out. So if you're doing what you love on a day-to-day basis, and that's the energy behind it, like it's a loving energy, like, dude, there's no way you can fail with dishing out that type of energy on a day-to-day basis. It's the law of attraction. Man, Reese the Shaman, I'm trying to tell you. CC for sure, man. Listen, I feel like the school system dumbed me down. As ironic as that sounds, you know what I'm saying? Like it dumbed me down. Like for real. Because unfortunately, for us original folks, most of what we learn is some nonsense. So we gotta unlearn. So it's like when you get to a point and you black and you went through this school system and you realize that everything they taught me was some nonsense. Now I gotta unlearn that and I gotta relearn the truth. That's messed up. Like no other group of people really got to go through that. You know what I'm saying? So we get taught some fabricated nonsense and then we realize it and now we got to unlearn it and we got to relearn. Like that's ridiculous, man. So we essentially be wasting our time a lot. Man, Devin, I'm trying to tell you, all these books y'all see behind me, mind you, most of the books that I would purchase. Now, of course, you got some high-level books, some rare books that may cost you a few hundred, but most of the books that I purchase, man, $15, $20, $10. A college textbook, $150, $200. These $15, $20 books, I'm learning way more in those books than the college textbooks that's running me $100, $150, $200. It's a scam, man. TR, peace, what's happening? Jazz, peace, let's get it. Hey, I did my workout earlier for sure. Been ramping my workouts back up 4 or 5 days a week. I was doing a little 3-day joint, but now we back to it. Oh yeah, Magic for sure. Jarrell, peace, what's happening? Yeah, school. I'm gonna be real, man. School makes you a slave. The school system makes you a slave. It's a very small percentage of people that actually can pimp the school system and not become a slave. Small percentage of us. Because I would consider myself one of those individuals that did not become enslaved by the school system. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, hey, it's a good 90% of the people, man, that school system is enslaving us. It's enslaving us mentally and physically, for real. It's teaching us how to build up their corporations, how to work for them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the school system is essentially doing. It's making us a slave. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. I'm gonna keep it real, especially for original people, especially for black people, man. It's making you a slave, man. That's what it is doing. That's what it's doing, whether you like that reality or not. That's what the school system is doing. Because nothing has changed about that exact school system. It's still doing the same exact thing. Oh yeah, Devin, man, back in the day, I stayed tapped into documentaries, giving me the game, giving me knowledge. That's all I was. Listen, in college, man, I wasn't even reading the textbooks and things like that, man. I'm watching documentaries, reading books that I done bought for $15, $20, learning everything I need to know. Learning everything I need to know. I don't remember anything from those classes, fam. I don't remember anything. I fell asleep most of them, man. Still was passing. You know, school, I'm telling you, school is nothing, man. It doesn't help. It doesn't help teach you how to think, man. All you gotta do is just Work on your memory, man. You just work on your memory skills. It's a breeze, man. School is a breeze. All you gotta do is just memorize things. That's it. That's it. That's all. You may have a few classes where you might have, you know what I'm saying, where that is not the case. But for the most part, man, it's memory. You know, even when you're writing papers, like when you write a paper in school, it's not necessarily about your insight. It's how the paper is structured. You know what I'm saying? Teachers looking at how it's structured, how it's formatted, things like that. Man, that ain't help. That's really not helping you. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's all about your memory. School, man. You master memory, you're gonna breeze through school, and that's on both levels. Like literally. If you want to learn, if you want to really learn some things that's valuable, you're gonna have to do that outside of the school system. That's exactly what I did, man. I took matters into my own hands. I said, you know what, there's some things that I need to learn in life. You know what I'm saying? So I started educating myself. And hence why y'all see the books behind me. Truth Seeker, 100% corporate slaves. You know what I'm saying? Corporate slaves, big time. And I wasn't trying to be that. I wasn't trying to be that at all. I'm striving for liberation. I'm striving to have control over my time. I don't want to ask permission to go handle a family matter. Like I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, when I worked at the bank, fam, like simple stuff. When I worked at the bank, man, you would have kids who just finished high school that didn't know how to fill out withdrawal slips. You know what I'm saying? Like simple stuff that should be taught. Like the school system doesn't teach practical things. Like how you 18 and don't even know how to fill out a withdrawal slip. You know, they don't even write in cursive anymore, so they don't even know how to sign their name. They look at signature and they like, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on out here, man? Like basic math, it'd be hard for them to do. It's like this is ridiculous, man. How y'all making it through the schools? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, I gotta sit down and walk you through the process of filling out a withdrawal slip so that you can get money out this bank. Because they didn't simply teach you something simple like that, they didn't teach you in school. Like, that's ridiculous, man. Yeah, Big Smooth, and all of it is a process, but they want us to just master the memory part. Just remember this information so you can pass this test. That doesn't necessarily determine intelligence. Oh, Devin, for sure, man. I'd never forget when I was reading that joint and he was talking about how he started to memorize the dictionary and things like that while he was in prison. That inspired me, man. I grabbed the dictionary that day. Once I read it, I said, man, let me start from A to Z. Let me get this dictionary memorized, tapped into. Jarrell for sure. Darth Vespucci, peace. What's happening? But yeah, man, traveling, experiencing, just looking inward, asking myself questions. I didn't learn way more that way. Just analyzing life. You know what I'm saying? Like I just analyzing life around me. I learned more than sitting in a classroom. But then when we can't sit in a classroom, they start saying we got ADHD and things like that. Something must be wrong with you if the school system is not for you. We got to put you on some drugs. Corey, for sure, man. The school is like a reflection of the prison system for real. When you really look at it. I mean, even look at the food, like for real. Just look at the school system, like even the food that they feed the kids in school. Well, I don't even know what it's like now, but back when I was in school, man, that food was garbage. That was like the lowest quality of food that we was receiving in school, and we wonder why we got these health problems. Man, the food we was getting fed as kids in school was not nutritious at all. It was horrible. You know what I'm saying? So you have to bring your lunch, but it's like, man, that's prison. You watch these prison shows, and you've been to prison, and the food they serve, they're trash. Man, I'm a fool with the commissary. So when you got to high school, man, we had listed, man, I'm finna go find the snack dude. I'm finna go buy the snacks from dude. They ain't eating that junk that they serving us, man. And that's how these health problems be. But man, I don't want to eat this school lunch, man. It's garbage. So I'm gonna pocket this little lunch money that my people gave me, and I'm gonna buy some from the snack dude, and I'm gonna feed off of that. Like for real, man. I mean, come on, man. The school system should have better food, man. That'd be some of the worst quality food ever, man. Like that was some horrible food from a quality and nutrition perspective. Terrible, fam. Like the food was horrible, horrible, man. Then when I got to college, man, food wasn't. Man, the college that I was at, man, food started messing up my stomach. Hence, one of the reasons why I made the transition I made. Man, I couldn't eat the food. That food started tearing my stomach up, man. I was like, hold up, man. We was getting sick, fam. Like me, my roommate, bunch of other dudes. The food was making us sick. I'm like, nah, man, I ain't even finna eat this food, man. I'm done. Like for real, man, that's horrible. Kids can't get no better food than that. But again, we wonder why we feed them this non-nutritious food, give them all the sugar and stuff, and wonder why they can't sit still. You know what I'm saying? Wonder why they hyper. Shit's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like that's dumb. The way we feed them, and then we wonder why, oh, they hyper. And then it ain't nothing that, you know what I'm saying, like a school, like a elementary school teacher, middle school teacher, right? Man, the type of money that they make, like unfortunately, like they just throw anybody up in these classrooms sometimes, it seems, man. Man, it don't take nothing to become a substitute. That should be I feel like that should be one of the highest paid professions for real. We place all this emphasis on education, and where they at on the pay scale? Those are, hey, I commend some of them teachers because those are the people that I'm talking about. They doing that strictly out of love, out of passion. Because, man, teachers don't make enough. So when you find that, man, a teacher is teaching out of sheer passion at times. Because, man, you're not making enough, man. In regards to the heavy emphasis that they place on education, man, you should be making a lot more than what they make. It's ridiculous, man. Like my college advisor, man, she had, you know what I'm saying, she having to work during the summer because it ain't enough. Like, dude, come on. Like, they shouldn't have to do that. If y'all telling us education is the most important thing and everybody need an education, well, why ain't that the most paid, the highest paid field? Don't even make any sense, man. Cribbing 2 times. Peace, my brother. Yeah, most definitely. Definitely taught me how to be a slave. Jazz for sure. Now, unfortunately, with that though, although I agree, but the unfortunate part about the parents needing to teach the kids basic skills is that the way the system is set up, man, parents got to work 2 or 3 jobs. Man, the prices of food, like everything is so expensive, man. Parents having to work themselves into the ground just to keep the lights on out here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. These jobs disrespectful with the pay. That's why I tell everybody, hey, you got to start doing your own thing out here because these jobs disrespectful with the pay. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just work one job and be like, that's cool. Nah, you got to work. You're going to at least have to have another one because the type of pay that the type of pay that I be hearing that these people getting at these jobs, I'm like, wow, that's what they offer now. Like, it's sad, man. So a lot of these parents, man, and unfortunately in the Black community, we have a lot of single parent households. So if that's your situation, then you definitely having to work 2 or 3 jobs. Man, I just had a dude inquire about my training services, and I'm looking at dude, he gave me his availability. I'm like, dang, bro, when are you gonna be able to work out? You work too much, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you ain't got no time to work out. And I'm like, dude, how you sleep with that schedule? Hey, Darth Vespucci, peace, right on. Congratulations. Hey, Antoinette, man, I don't even know if households, I don't know how y'all came up, but back in the day when I came up, man, every house had all the volumes of encyclopedias. I don't think I've seen that in a minute. I haven't seen that in a minute. But when I grew up, man, we used to have all the encyclopedias. Man, I can't tell you last time I walked in somebody's crib and just saw all the encyclopedias from A to Z in that joint. Like that used to be a thing back in the day. You used to have them encyclopedias in the crib. I don't even know how we got them. They was just there. Like I don't even remember buying encyclopedias. Like they just was at the crib. Man, Reese, 100%, man. A lot of toxic situations went down in the school system, man. But at least back in my day, I'm pretty sure it's still going on. Devin, that Booker T, hey, Up From Slavery, that's a powerful joint. I got that book somewhere behind me. That's a powerful joint, though. Antoinette, man, I'm 100% man. Whoo-wee. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. And Jazz, for sure. Now, this the thing, Jazz. Now listen to what you said. Now I agree with that, but listen to what you said though. You said we rely too much on the school system. Although I agree, but it's like that's what that school system should be there. It should be there for that reason. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to, all right, man, we got to go put in this work, feed the fat. Like we should be able to, hey, send my child off to the school system and they get educated thoroughly. That to me, that's the whole point of the school system. So if the school system isn't doing any of that, what is it here for? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like we need to create our own school system. But at the end of the day, the reason for a school system, like that's the reason the school system should exist. You know what I'm saying? To educate the child while we go out here and do what's necessary to keep a roof over their head and things of that nature. Of course, in your downtime, you can focus on educating your child and teaching them things that you would like to teach them. But at the end of the day, like we're not gonna make an excuse, but it's like, man, at the end of the day, you got to provide for that child. So you're gonna have to do what you have to do to make sure first you provide for that child. That's the most important thing. You know, so we got to create better communities to where it's like, all right, man, I'm gonna make sure I go put in this work, but I'm able to send my child to such and such, and they're gonna learn some things that I'm not able to teach them. Because for real, as parents, though, I'm not educated in everything. You know, when it comes, like I got fitness down pat, I got business, certain things like that down pat, but it's areas where I lack. And that should be where the school system come in. I can't teach a child everything. I don't know everything. You know, the school system should be universal. So the areas where I lack, they should be able to pick up that slack at least. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have that. But if we come together and create our own system, it's like, all right, cool. Jazz, you not well versed in nutrition. Well, boom, hey, we got a school system and I'm in charge of that department and you trust my expertise. I got you. I'm gonna teach your kid everything he needs to know about physical fitness and nutrition. Boom. You may be well versed in math. So now I can send my child off to you so they can learn the math because that's not my area of expertise. You know what I'm saying? It should, like, that's what we need. We need communities of that instead of parents trying to force themselves to learn everything and master it. That's hard. That's hard. That's challenging. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to, like, I clashed with my my parents, with some things growing up because I'm gonna be honest with you. Not all parents are designed to teach their children certain things. Me and my pops clashed when it came to a lot of things because his teaching style wasn't conducive with my learning style. And that's not to his fault. He didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it was. So every time he would try to teach me something, it didn't work because the way he would come at me and deliver it, I wasn't receptive to it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you have that, unfortunately. So it's a lot of different dynamics when it comes, like, just because somebody is a parent don't mean that they're gonna be able to get through to their child. You know, and that was my unfortunate reality, man. Like a lot of times my pops be trying to teach me something, and I'm like, dude, I don't like how you talking to me. I don't like how you teaching this. Like your style of teaching is not the way that I'm gonna receive this information thoroughly and properly. And it led to a lot of it led to a disconnect. It led to us fighting a lot. And that was kind of bad, man. And it led to me kind of growing up with a certain energy towards him that I had to remove from myself. And that's messed up. So it was just better if he would have just, when it came to certain things, it would have been better if he just took me to somebody else, because that kind of strained our relationship for real. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. And I used to, like, at times I was outspoken, so I used to let him know that, like, hey man, I don't like how you communicating this with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like how you delivering this message to me. Like, it's another way to say this. I would say things and it wouldn't get received well because I'm a child. I'm supposed to just stay in my place. Like, I don't know nothing. But I'm telling you my learning style as a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, like, hey, the way you trying to talk to me, I don't like that. Like, why are you communicating this way to me? Like, it's another way that you can go about it. So sometimes when it comes to parents teaching their children in regards to certain subjects, sometimes that can backfire. I can bear witness to that because I went through that, unfortunately. So I just feel like we need better communities as Black people, better communities. Like, look, hey, I can't get through to my child. This ain't my area of expertise, but man, I know dude. I know Evil, like, this is area of expertise. He seemed to have the type of teaching style that's conducive with my son's learning style. So I'm going, all right, boom, we gonna hit him up. Like, we need networks like that. That's what I feel like we need, more so than parents trying to teach their child like everything. I feel like we need better networks. Like, we need to network better. We need to find people that specialize in certain things, and we need to create these networks, man. I got a dude that master physics over here. I got a brother that I know that's a mathematician over here. I got a dude that's a fitness specialist over here. This is where my strong points at. You know what I'm saying? And anything that's outside of these strong points, I'm about to go find somebody that looks like me that can teach my child, that can resonate with my child, mentor, counseling, things like that. I feel like we just need better networks. So I feel like a school system does serve a purpose, just not their school system for us. So we need to create a network, of specialists, of experts and things like that, so we can just tap in. You know what I'm saying? Like a website or something, like, boom. Like, my child like to teach him math. I'm finna go here. Boom. Everybody should have a profile on there. You know what I'm saying? I'm an expert in math, and this is how I teach, and woo woo. And here goes some of my work and all of this type of good stuff. Like, I feel like that'd be big. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely agree, though. We rely on the school system too much. But we don't even need to put all that pressure on the parents too. Like, hey, teach from the parent perspective, teaching what you know, teaching what you find out, 100% for sure. But if it's something that you don't know, don't make some stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Go find an expert, which again, that would be where the school system could come in, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, man, we need to get the network popping. What they say, it take a village to raise that child, man. Where's our village? That village is the network that I'm talking about. That village, we need to enhance that village. Like, I feel like that's big. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to just remove ourselves from, like, their system fully. Especially with the way we can do things virtually now. Like, there's really no need for us to be, like, relying on them and their system, like, at all. Divine Focus for sure. I'm trying to tell you, man, that I'm telling you, the network of experts, like, that's got to be the new way we do some schooling, for real. Because, man, I'm gonna just be real, man. It's just, I'm gonna be real. Like, it's just nutrition. My prime example is nutrition. So many people lack knowledge on nutrition to where they're not even able to really teach their children thoroughly and properly because they don't know. And then it's like they spend so much time at their jobs, they don't really have time to learn. They don't have time to learn the intricacies of nutrition. Like when it comes to your individual body type, learning the body type of your child, and then creating a regimen that's suited towards that body type. Like I don't expect everybody to know that. You know what I'm saying? That's why what I do is important. You know, so if we got this network of experts, we able to solve this problem. Listen, I ain't even about to try to figure this out. I'm gonna send you the dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send you the dude. You know that this just I'm not trying to, just ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna trust this expert. Just like with something wrong with your car, I ain't trying to, hey, if I'm not a mechanic, I'm not about to try to fix this car. I'm gonna send it to somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send it to somebody else. You know, so we gotta get that network of experts, man, and we gotta remove ourselves. We gotta stop taking our talents to their school systems, right? And we gotta use these talents because we got people in all these fields. We got people that mastered all these subjects. We got people that mastered every subject out here. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta stop taking our talents to them. That's where it becomes watered down and useless. We gotta use it to enhance our community. That's how I feel. Cameron, peace, what's happening? But for real, I'm big. Hey, TZ, peace, appreciate that. I'll let the Mom Dukes know for sure. But yeah, I'm big on the network. I'm big on the village. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on making it easier and not harder. Like the more experts we got that we trust, the easier your job is to parent. Cause now you ain't gotta really focus so hard on, you know what I'm saying, that you can focus more on the love. You know what I'm saying? When you got these experts out here, man, you can focus more on the love, giving your child the love and things like that. And then, of course, teaching them what you know, like what you an expert in. You know what I'm saying? So you can focus more on those things. We got to work smarter out here. You know what I'm saying? We got to work smarter. But man, like I said, man, it's just in my field, just nutrition and fitness and things like that, man. People just don't be knowing what they doing. They do not be knowing what they doing. They start Googling stuff, and that's like the worst thing you could do in the fitness space, nutritional space, is start Googling stuff. They start Googling things and boom. It's downhill from there. Once you start Googling stuff, it's downhill from there, especially for Black people. You're gonna end up having your child gravitate toward a lifestyle, or you gravitating toward a lifestyle that's not conducive to how you need to really be living. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking about the like some weeks ago, maybe a month ago, about the blood, like the blood pressure norm. You start Googling that, like Google the norm, like the normal blood pressure, you're gonna be like, all right, cool. That their normal is bad. You know what I'm saying? So like when you start Googling stuff, like you gonna come across a lot of that. All right, cool, man. My blood pressure should be 120 over 80. Like, no. No. So that's what happens when we start Googling things. And I see that all the time in the space that I'm in, man. We start Googling stuff and we think we didn't became an expert in something overnight. And then it's just, nah. Like you know how many times I done had people come to me. I didn't mind you. I don't even consider myself an expert in it because I'm a student at all times. But man, I didn't been studying nutrition for like over 10 years, and I don't think I know nothing. I have somebody come to me, they done looked up something overnight and be acting like they know everything there is to know about it. Like that's one of the things I dislike about the internet, because it's like, dude, we done been studying this stuff for years. You think you finna look up something overnight, and all you doing is looking at the phone, you done Googled it overnight, and you think you finna tell me something about it. I'm never going to insult a person like that ever. If somebody been doing something for 20, 30 years, man, they've been studying it for 20 to 30 years, right? And I respect them. I'm not about to just look something up overnight and then question everything they done taught me. Like it's a process. Like I'm gonna study for a little longer before I start questioning some things that they were telling me. I'm not just about to look something up overnight and then be like, "No, you told me this and that's wrong." Like if you got questions, that's one thing, but to tell somebody they wrong because you looked up something overnight, incorrect. And every time somebody would even come to me with some stuff that's different from what I told them, I already know. I'm like, I already came across that. To let you know, that's how we research out here. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody come to me, what they said, I sometimes finish the sentence for them. Like I know what they said. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that I may tell you is probably going to oppose what they have told you, and it probably is going to oppose what you find on Google. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be having to finish the sentence for them because I'm like, I'm already hip. I'm already knowing what they told you. I'm already knowing what they are telling you. You know, but this research thing is deep. Research thing is deep, man, especially in a field like nutrition and fitness because things change. That's in most fields, man. Things change. The only thing constant is change. So who really, a lot of people don't have time to keep up with the changes. Even with something like obesity, man, they had the era where they was blaming fattening foods for people being obese. Then we gonna blame the carbs. I told folks, I said, man, give it some years, then they gonna start blaming protein for it. That's what happens. And we just roll with the popular belief at the time. So at the time when the consensus was, oh, high fattening foods cause obesity, well, they was on a low fat kick because everybody bought into that. Then they came out and said, you know what? It ain't the fattening foods, it's the carbs. Now everybody is against carbs and they doing keto. You know what I'm saying? So we just tend to roll with the consensus at the time. And that don't necessarily make it right nor healthy. But that's what we do in the nutrition world. Like people roll with the punches. All the keto this, keto that, because they done told folks carbs are the problem. When in reality, they are not. So it be stuff like that, man. You got to really find an expert, somebody that doesn't have an agenda, somebody that doesn't have a biased perception or perspective. You know, that's doing proper research. You know, they not being funded by the dairy industry, the meat industry, all that type of nonsense. Man, Magic, I'm trying to tell you, man, Infirmary Media, peace, what's happening? Magic, man, Google got so much censor that's ridiculous. I I hate Google as far as like Google got some, you know what I'm saying? You find some things out, but man, as far as like deep research, I do not like Google. Can't stand it. Divine, you say I don't understand keto because you can still eat bacon. Like what? How is that, man? You can eat bacon, you can eat cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like you eat cheese. You literally you have a slab of cheese. You have bacon and cheese. You can have a burger without the bun. So you just had a patty and you had cheese on the patty. You know what I'm saying? Like that lifestyle is ridiculous. And I have done videos on this when I first started streaming. I did a video on this because somebody gonna come on here and be like, "Oh man, I done lost a ton of weight doing keto." Listen, just because you lost weight doing something don't mean it's healthy. Like we gotta understand that. Just like you can have people that look like they are in shape, be small, and be the sickest person on the planet. So just because you did something and you lost weight doesn't mean that that's healthy. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of for one, anytime you drastically change your diet, you will lose weight. I don't care what you change it to. Doesn't make it healthy. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand that, man. Just because something caused you to lose weight doesn't mean that was healthy. Doesn't mean that you are healthy. So we gotta understand that. But I ain't even gonna break down that science. I got a video about that already. You know what I'm saying? But the key that man, I just don't even get me started on that. But yeah, they can eat bacon, they can eat cheese. They gotta stay away from a lot of fruit. You know what I'm saying? They gotta stay away from the fruit. I don't even. That's just stupid. Kevin, you say, do you have to go to the dark web to find out uncensored information? Hey, dark web, I go to a lot of books. Some of the books you cannot find anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, shout out to some of the bookstores that's still in existence, like black bookstores and things like that. But a lot of my uncensored information I have extracted from books. Some of the books, like I said, hard to find, out of print, things like that. But that's where I've come across a lot of, you got, and a lot of times, man, you got to go back. You got to tap into a lot of old school information. Like you got to really study. You got to study the trend. You got to study what didn't happen. From a nutritional standpoint, like I said, I got to study when they were saying fat was causing obesity. Let me study that time period. Why were they saying that? And then why did they transition? Boom. So I was like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm studying all of these transitions and I'm coming across common denominators. Jazz, I'm trying to tell you, which staying away from fruit is nothing we should be doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just from a logical standpoint, we just got to really ask ourselves, what type of sense does that make? You know what I'm saying? We just got to ask ourselves, what type of sense does that really make? You know what I'm saying? That's staying away from fruit. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never staying away from fruit. Matter of fact, once I get off of this joint, I'm going to make me a nice smoothie that has fruit in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to consume fruit. No reason why I'm going to stay away from fruit. Just not going to do it. But yeah, man, I got a lot of people that swear by the key. I'm like I said though, I'm in a different space in my life. I used to go back and forth with people. Now I just let people do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like even if it's a field where I'm in, I'm not gonna force you to do anything. Hey, if you want to do the keto, be my guest. Do I fool with the keto? No. But hey, if you swear up and down you did this research and this keto is what you need to do, go ahead, be my guest, man. I'm no longer in the business of trying to get people to see things from my light. Yeah, if you think, hey, if you like it, I love it. Like if you think that regimen makes sense and it's sustainable long term, who am I to tell you otherwise? That's where I'm at with it. People gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day anyway. So I'm talking to the people that's willing to listen to the other side of the equation. Like, nah, you don't have to do this to lose the weight. You can make these simple changes. I'm talking to the open-minded people. I'm not talking to the people that already got it set in their mind that this is what they gonna do. And they argumentative, man. Like, dude, like this is this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is not what you like, I don't like when people, this ain't what you do. Why are you arguing with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I do. And then I will get, not only is this what I do, then I will give you the resource, like the sources that will corroborate what I'm saying. Devin, I can, like, for one, doctors are not experts in nutrition. They're not even required to take a nutritional course. They might have to take like one. But doctors are so far from being experts in nutrition that it's ridiculous. So when they start giving that type of advice, that's hilarious. Stay away from fruit because it's too much sugar. And that's, like I said, that's a popular belief these days, to stay away from fruit because it's too much sugar. But like you say, but then this is what they'll tell you though. Everything else is cool in moderation. But they'll tell you stay away from fruit though. But then you'll be like, you know what I'm saying, start talking about cookies, Oreos, processed food, cheesecake. Oh, well, it's cool in moderation. Alcohol, oh, it's cool in moderation. You need to stay away from that fruit though. Lindell, man, hey, 100%. MLK, Harriet Tubman, like Rosa Parks. You know why they teach MLK for the most part. We already know the science behind that. Much respect to him, but I'm not the biggest MLK fan, but I'm not going to disrespect. I'm not going to disrespect the ancestor like that. But I'm not the biggest MLK like fan as far from a historical perspective. That wouldn't have been the movement I would have been behind at the time. That's never really the energy. Now he started to wake up towards the end, which is why they got him. So he started to wake up toward the end. Elijah Muhammad talked about that in the Fall of America. Talked about the meeting that he had with Martin Luther King before Martin Luther King was assassinated, and how Martin Luther King was saying, man, everything that y'all teaching is right and exact. You know what I'm saying? He basically admitted to being a puppet. And he basically admitted to being a puppet in regards to neutralizing the energy of like Malcolm X and them at the time. So he basically admitted that. You know what I'm saying? So he started to wake up to the truth, and then they was like, all right, cool, now we gotta assassinate him. We can't have that. But we know good and well why they don't have any problem teaching you about Martin Luther King in schools. Like, they knocked us over the head with that. Like, you started to think that was like the only dude who ever did anything. It's like once I started realizing, like, man, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, the Black Panther, like, man, I started learning, like, man, we got that. I thought, man, they had me confused for a minute. D. Orton, man, I got flax seeds. Get the grounded flax seeds. Those are the best flax seeds to put in a smoothie. The grounded, organic, grounded joints. I got all the seeds though, man. I got hemp seeds, flax seeds, and chia seeds, and I rotate them joints. Hemp seeds are like my joints, man. That's a good source of protein for anybody that's a vegan, for anybody that's plant-based. Omega-3s, all of that, man. Hemp seeds are very nutritious, man. I stay with some hemp seeds. Chia seeds too for the fiber content and whatnot. So I stay with all of those joints on me. Throw them right in the smoothie. Like I said, when I get off of this joint, it's going down. I'm doing all smoothies for 5 days this week, man. Keeping that immune system on point. Keeping the immune system on point. Keeping everything on point. The mind, all of that, you know. I'm trying out something new, man. Just 5 days, nothing but smoothies. Then I eat some food on the weekends because, again, just based off of my research, you don't necessarily need to go 100% raw. That's not necessarily the best way to go for most folks. Cooked foods can serve a purpose, you know what I'm saying? But you need to be predominantly raw. It's like 80% raw, you know what I'm saying? So I'm experimenting with that right now. And I'm going to let y'all know how this experiment is going. I pretty much know how it's going to go because I know how I feel right now. Just off of the strength of doing my 2 smoothies a day, all I'm doing is eliminating the meal and adding another smoothie. So this is essentially a cakewalk for me. But man, I'm going straight smoothies on the weekdays, cooked food on the weekends. Good balance right there. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I gotta get myself ready to go back up to this gym, finish off my day and whatnot. So I appreciate y'all tapping in for the build, man. Appreciate donations, appreciate all the input. It's always peace, man. I may try to tap in with y'all tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Thursday or Friday for sure. But I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday. I appreciate y'all, and I'm out. Peace.